which would be in Hartford, which is on the road, and they're projected to play Lipscomb, whatever. I'm taking Lipscomb. Whatever the spread is, I'll go that because they're just a bad road team. If they end up in the Midwest, I'll probably bet on Kansas. I think I'm going to bet on every single game in this tournament.
Yeah, I'll be playing some bets.
That's really fun. But we'll go through with number one seeds. You have the ones. You have the projected
the four projected number one seeds right now are Virginia, Kentucky, Gonzaga, and Duke.
Mr. Gary, who is the scariest one out of those teams?
Duke with a healthy Zion.
Oh, you think he's coming back?
Coach K said today, I heard it on ESPN this afternoon, that he will be ready for the ACC tournament.
He's going to play.
He's going to play in the ACC tournament. That's what Coach K said today.
Correct. Okay.
And I have no reason to believe anything other than what Coach K is saying.
Coach K is a liar. So you're right. If Duke has Zion, they're the scariest. If they don't, for me, the scariest is Kentucky. The talent. The talent is like it is every year. The talent's stupid. Just super young. Like they are every year.
Yep.
And they're hot right now.
But Calipari always knows, too, how to get those young guys to play well in that environment, of the tournament. So I'm with you. If Zion is not healthy, then I'd probably go with Kentucky. I just think Virginia has some holes in their team.
Yeah, I've watched them play.
And can get beat any given night.
Yep.
In Gonzaga, we've talked about, the competition they play night in, night out. It's just not as tough as some of these other teams.
And then for me, I'm just kind of going through, obviously, for me, the scariest of the two seeds, North Carolina.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in Roy Williams and the University of North Carolina. So
big time. He has how many national championships since he's been there? Is it 2 or 3?
2, I believe.
2? I mean, he's a phenomenal coach, right? So definitely the scariest 2 seed out of the whole deal. And that's it. So, I mean, it's going to be – March Madness is one of the best times of the year, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. All right. We'll go ahead and transition now, talk a little NBA playoff seeding. We're getting ever so close to the playoff push. We'll start in the East right now. These were the rankings before tonight's game. Like I said, this is Wednesday, March 6th. Right. I looked at this, before any games were played tonight.
Right.
Which I think Wednesday is kind of an off day for NBA anyway. But so Milwaukee was the number 1 seed. Toronto, Indiana, Philadelphia, Boston, Detroit, Brooklyn, and Charlotte is the 8th seed. And Miami is that next team that could possibly sneak in the East.
For the East, not surprised. Not surprised with Milwaukee. Not surprised Toronto. I am surprised Indiana. And I really, really hope that Miami pushes one of them teams out because I want to see D Wade in the playoffs. Everyone knows this is last year. So I'd really like to see him get a playoff run. They'll be eliminated first round, I'm sure. That team's just not that good. D Wade's still clutch. He was clutch this week or no? It was last week.
It was last week
against the Warriors.
Yep,
the shot.
Big 3.
Hey, so he still got it. He still got the gene. So NBA playoffs are shaping up. NBA is one of those things where you can kind of catch a game every now and then, but the NBA playoffs get really fun.
Yeah,
I think a lot of guys don't get really, really super physical until the playoffs start.
Yeah,
and then they start going after it, and then they start really playing defense, which actually kind of makes sense if you're doing an 82-game marathon. You can't go 100% every night. You'll burn out, and so these guys kind of go soft, and then they kind of go hard when it matters. So.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I mean, I feel like they kind of flip a switch around this time of year.
For sure.
Where they're trying to get in playoff mode.
Yep.
But we'll move over and talk a little West in the Western Conference. Golden State, obviously, is the 1.
Right.
Denver is the 2.
Surprise.
Houston, number 3. Oklahoma City, number 4. Then you got Portland, Utah, the Clippers, and San Antonio Spurs rounding out the last 8 teams. Sacramento right now is that ninth team that could possibly get in. I think the big shock for everybody here is LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are really looking like they're going to be on the outside looking in this year.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They're playing Denver tonight. I think Denver's going to beat them. Hopefully not, but everyone knows I'm a huge LeBron fan, and LeBron passed Jordan on all-time scoring list. He'll end up passing Kobe. If he doesn't pass him this he may pass him this year, maybe. If he doesn't pass him this year, he'll pass him at the first game of next year. So that's a huge accomplishment for him. But as of earlier today, they had a 0.1% chance of making the playoffs. After the All-Star break, the Lakers had the fourth hardest schedule. No, that's not right. I think they had the hardest schedule going all the way in. Some injuries. LeBron got hurt. Lonzo's hurt. Ingram was hurt. Team is super young. Either super young or they're kind of like 1-year veteran dudes. Super inconsistent. Look for the Lakers to make playoffs next year because they're going to grab somebody. They're going to grab another star to go.
Yeah, they'll grab another guy.
I think this year was let's see what we got, and then you look at it and you go from there. Not surprised if Kyrie, who's been apologetic to LeBron for leaving Cavs, goes and plays with him again, and then if they land somebody else. So I think somebody's going to go play with him. Just not sure exactly who. On the total opposite side of the spectrum, not a surprise. Golden State's the 1 seed. I think they're the major favorite to win it all. Mm-hmm. Their starting five is probably top. They're all in the top 30 or 25 players in the league.
Yeah.
So
they're all stars.
All of them.
Yeah.
I also think for Golden State, this is last. I think it's the last hurrah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it gets broken up after this year.
Yeah, and that's not because of discontent. That's because it's time for some of these guys to get paid.
Yeah,
it's time for Clay to get paid. Durant's probably done taking discounts.
Yep.
It's time for Draymond to get paid, and then Boogie will try to get paid next year too. Steph Curry's the only guy that's I think he's the only guy that's inked into he had the Supermax. So Golden State last hurrah. I think they end up winning. The whole thing. So.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to pick against Golden State. You mentioned Miami. We talked about them. I would like to see D Wade get in the playoffs too.
Yep.
One more time.
Yep.
Just knowing it's his last year, so I'd like to see them bump one of those teams out.
Yep.
But in the West, I really feel like those 8 teams are pretty set. Obviously Sacramento's got an outside chance, but I feel like those 8 teams are pretty set, and the order might change a little bit, but I feel like those are your best 8 teams.
Yeah, for sure. They might switch a couple places or whatever. I think scariest team in playoffs, besides Golden State, a team that really could step it up is OKC. Paul George, Westbrook is they're awesome. A really really nice team. They play really well. If they get hot, they can do it. But I really see Golden State winning the championship this year.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So one more thing before we get out of here. But when we talked on the show last week, Salvador Perez, catcher for the Royals, had not been injured. Had Tommy John surgery yesterday, I believe, either yesterday or today.
Yeah.
So he's going to be out for the season. So, sad to hear that. He's one of my favorite guys on the Royals to watch. Seems like he's always really having fun. A leader on the team. They were going to use him more as a DH this year than, catching him, having him play catcher just because it is so rough on the body. But sad to see him get hurt. And I'm afraid to say that with that injury, that over-under might need to be adjusted a little bit, losing a guy like that.
Well, who was one of our buddies is thinking they're going to be like the worst team in the league again. I think Joey said that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the over-under does get adjusted. I still think the team can win 72, 73, 74. Super young, catcher pretty deep. It just depends on who steps up this year. But it definitely sucks not to have him out there. And actually, you know what? I say that Salvio will be out. He'll be out there.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be supporting the team.
He'll be there. The Royals will probably talk him into they'll figure out a way for him to come around and be at the stadium and interact with fans and stuff like that. So I still think we're going to get that experience, but it's just interesting to see as the core we had from the World Series team is pretty much going away.
Yeah, he was kind of the last hanger on.
Duffy's on the team still, Duffy. And then Alex Gordon, we're getting his twilight years right now. He's about done too. So it was a candle that burned really fast, really hard, and
it was a lot of fun.
Man, it's the funnest, it's the best championship to your city, and they're a really fun squad. It's just too bad we didn't have the payroll to keep everybody around, keep all those guys under contract and pay everybody. But everybody moves on to get their big deals. And then the small market team has to just rebuild through the draft. And
Bubba Starling's been tearing it up.
And he might actually be hitting his stride. If he is, he's super marketable. The Royals get way behind him. And they'll probably they don't want to call him up too soon since they already know this year's kind of a lost year.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this season is going to be the team will be young and they'll be fun to watch. And tickets should be mega cheap. So I'm going to try to make it to a few games this year.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, all right, you got anything else this week?
No, that's it. So just kind of trying to touch on everything. If you guys got anything specific you want to talk to us about, or do you want to tell us how dumb we are, go to Twitter at Midwest Mikes. You can go to our Facebook, Midwest Mikes, Snapchat, Midwest Mikes. Everything's Midwest Mike. Let us know what you think about the show. Also, just let us know, give us opinions on stuff, and we'll be sure to respond back, and we could do a little debate on the social media. So just hit us up and let us know what you think.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, everybody, have a good week. Like I said, we're going to be in Dallas this weekend celebrating a good friend's bachelor party last few weeks of being an unmarried guy. So we'll be down in Dallas. If we got any fans down there, hit us up on the social media, and maybe we can get together.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Have a good week, guys.